The other big story today, there have been massive protests that broke out in Nepal over the Oli government's decision to ban 26 social media sites and the corruption in the government. Thousands of youngsters, you're seeing them on your screens, journalists as well, took to the streets to protest against this move. Angry protesters breached Nepal's parliament complex. They demolished a portion of the boundary wall as well of this very parliament complex. Now, Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli is saying that his government is not against social media platforms, but he says he's against their arrogance and their tendency to belittle the country. Oli is saying that for over a year, his government has been asking social media networks to register under new regulations and be accountable, but there has been no compliance. Okay, this is breaking news that is coming in. The death toll that is in Nepal is only going up. Now we are learning that 19 people confirmed have lost their lives in these protests that have been ongoing since today afternoon. 17 of these deaths have happened in the capital city of Kathmandu alone. So the death toll there rising to 19 is expected to go because there are many people who've been seriously injured after the government there opened fire at these protesters. Now, as anger continues to simmer against the Oli government in Nepal, protesters are accusing the Nepalese government of corruption. What began as a peaceful march escalated when protesters broke through barricades and entered restricted zones near the parliament with placards saying "End corruption and not connection."
अगाडि म उभिरहेको ठाउँमा चट्ट गोली गरेर मेरो पछाडिको साथीले हातमा यी पुरा हात उडिसक्यो पुरै गोली लाग्यो गोली डाइरेक्ट गोली लाग्यो भित्रबाट अहिले पनि तुरुन्तै गोली चलिरहेको आवाज आइरहेको छ सुनिरहेको छौं हामी यो संसद भित्रबाट डाइरेक्ट गोली मेरो साथी उ अगाडि त्यहाँ उभिरहेको बेला डाइरेक्ट टाउकोमा गोली हानेछ भुइँमा हाती हाल्नु पर्ने गोली डाइरेक्ट खुट्टामा पनि नहालेर जिउमा हानिरहेछ यो कहाँको न्याय हो नि यी स्ट्यान्डहरुमाथि
यहाँ आउने बित्तिकै यहाँ अब पिसफुल प्रोटेस्ट गर्ने भनेर हामी प्लान गरेर आएको थियौं यहाँ साथीहरु हामी यहाँ आउने बित्तिकै यहाँ एकदम नराम्रो इन्सिडेन्ट यहाँ पुलिसहरुको मिसबिहेभ हेर्न सकिन्छ यहाँनिर जबरजस्ती युवाहरुलाई गोली हानिरहेको छ यो पिसफुल प्रोटेस्टको यो अलिकति पनि हैन यो माथिबाट बसेको मान्छेहरुले यस्तो गर्न पाउँदैन यो के कसो यो एकदम गलत भइरहेको छ यहाँनिर युवाहरुले अब केही एन्टी करप्सन एक्टिभिटिजहरु पनि गर्न पाइएन भने यहाँ फ्रीडम अफ स्पीच राइट टु स्पीच केही पनि छैन यहाँ मिनेटमा यहाँ एक जनाले यहाँ गोली हानेको यहाँ इन्सिडेन्ट देख्न सकिरहेको छौं हामीहरु यो एकदम गलत हो यो.
Let me go straight across to Khushbu Oli, who's an RP leader who is joining us on the broadcast. Khushbu, the news that is coming from Nepal is only getting worse. We are getting to know that at least 19 people have died in these protests. Since you're in the country, is there a fear that these numbers could last and that this protest is not ending anytime soon?
Definitely the numbers will increase because I was at the hospital right now where they are being treated, and I was in the Veer Hospital Trauma Center, and the situation there is very, very tragic, and it's going to get worse, and it's 21 already, not 19, it's already 21.
Okay.
So it's very unfortunate, and it's not going to end definitely because it started with the younger generations. They had made it absolutely clear that they were on the streets just to protest, solely to protest against the social media ban and rampant corruption that's happening in this country. They had publicly pledged earlier to remain peaceful to everybody and to not make it political, to not engage in violence and to respect public property. Even me, I had sent my children for the protest because I never imagined that the government would be so cruel, so brutal.
Okay.
And actually give orders to shoot at these children. You don't do that because these children were unarmed, and even if they were angry, upset, it was because of the government. So it could have been handled in a better way, but the government used so much excessive force. The kids were shot in their heads, and under difficult circumstances, they were like really, really tragic scenes that I just feel traumatized because 3 of my kids had gone to the protest and I wanted them to take the lead, and we stayed back this time because we wanted the younger generations to take their own lead. And then my kids came back, but unfortunately so many kids are not going to go back home. So it's very, very tragic.
Khushbu Oli, you're telling us two important things. You're telling us that the death toll has already gone up to 21 and that there are many people, especially younger people, who are in the hospital where you are, seriously injured, recuperating but seriously injured, which means the death toll could go up. You're also telling us that these protests will continue. Now, the defense that is coming in from Nepal's Prime Minister is this. He's saying, I am not against protests or social media. My problem is that social media companies, the big corporate giants, mostly Americans, are belittling the country and taking the country for a ride. When we've been asking them for compliance for the last 1 year, they have simply not done what we have asked them to do. What do you expect us to do when the deadline is over? We will obviously ban them.
See, the government, I think if it is so much concerned about the country's integrity and, wanted to create a discipline amongst the people, these companies, there are far more important issues. What role has he taken about the borders? What role has he taken, what leadership has he taken about the border issues that's happening right now, about the political changes that's happening globally and how it has been affecting Nepal? What role? There are major other things that could have been the priority. The government's imposition of restrictions under the pretext of registration and administrative control has laid bare double standards. Because if it was so, why did he use it? Why did he use Facebook or Meta platforms post the ban? Why did Shreya Deuba, if it was so much about the country's integrity, why did the Shreya Deuba, who is in the government, use Facebook platforms or media platforms, social media platforms after that? Was this ban only for the Nepali public, only for the youth? And see, the government does not understand the importance of social media. They don't know, because they think social media is just going to be for entertainment. No, it is not. It is a vital source of income today for the youngsters. Students of this age are using it for educational purposes. It's for professional work. So many other things, The people who were unemployed earlier were making a good living out of this social media.
Okay. And
the government's ban has also disrupted the connectivity of the 70 lakhs people who are actually outside of this country, who they have completely lost connection. And was it not the responsibility of the government to actually give us enough time to prepare for this ban if it was meant to happen, and especially when the social media bill is in the parliament for review? What was the need to urgently do it? So I just want to tell your media, the actual reason behind the ban of this government is not just about what Mr. Oli has said. The actual ban is because they fear the political literacy and awareness that the social media enables among citizens.
Okay.
They want to control the narrative, the negative narrative about these parties.
Okay.
They want to control what people are publishing about corruption.
Okay, Ms. Oli, I'm glad we could get your perspective from Nepal on the show this evening, because one really was wondering if these massive protests where 21 people have now died, mostly youngsters, was just about a ban on social media platforms. Clearly not. It's clearly much more than that. Khushbu Oli, thank you very much for joining us. It's a story we continue to keep track of. Thank you very much. The death toll in Nepal, ladies and gentlemen, has now gone up to 21. For the moment, a break. There's more on the other side. Do stay with us.